All right. Well, hello there, speculators. It is Rod, lead futures trader, TDG, the Traders Dev Group, and Futures on Fire. Welcome back to the channel. Hey, we make software and strategies for self-directed investors and active traders. Kind of going to be a big night. I'm a little excited about this. As you can see there on the screen, it says Micro E-mini Options, the next chapter. This was a webinar that the CME Group gave last week. I'll put a description below to where you can watch this replay, which I highly recommend you do. So I was going to spend a little bit more time and actually go through a lot of what is covered in this webinar, but I decided let's just make it pretty quick tonight. So what I'm going to be talking about, just very briefly here, is that tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the futures markets open, as they often do. I'll start taking a look at them. But more interestingly is options on micro futures begin trading tonight on the MES and the MNQ. So most of you here on the channel are going to be familiar with those two symbols. Of course, that's the micro S&P and the micro NASDAQ. We are in the midst of a very strong bull run in all markets, especially in the NASDAQ right now. And these products, I think, are going to be very popular right from the get-go. Okay, so if you tune in to today, again at 6 p.m. Eastern, you have a futures account, you'll be able to see these symbols. And rather than me going through how they work and the symbols and the expiration, I'll put a link down below in the description on this video, or if you're watching this somewhere else, I'll make sure that there's a link to how you can get to this particular page so you can watch this webinar yourself. Okay, so these are going to launch here very, very soon. I will be trading them at TradingView and at Interactive Brokers. You are going to have a futures account if you want, or a futures demo account if you want to be able to trade these. I know that NinjaTrader also offers options through some other interface. I haven't traded options there, but you are going to need a futures account if you want to get access to the data and to be able to see and actually potentially trade these. Now, if you watch somewhere on the channel, I made a big mistake when they first launched the small exchange, which is a different futures product for a different day, although I'm going to mention a new product that they just came out with. I expect the liquidity here probably right off the bat, given what's going on in the markets and the success of the micros over here on the CME, the liquidity be pretty darn good in these micro products even when they launch. Okay, so really quickly, at TradingView, I believe you are not going to be able to do spreads or any short legs. I think. I haven't checked with them. They clear through Dorman, and Dorman has never, to my knowledge, made spreads or any kind of short component available. Again, even if you're doing a vertical spread, which is technically defined risk as well, they don't let you sell that short option. Now, that might not be the case with these micros, so we'll see. I'm just going to fire it off and see if they let me do that trade. I should have actually checked. But Interactive Brokers will let you do a spread right off the bat. Now you can check with your broker to find out if you can do a spread, because with the premiums that we're going to see here, I'm going to probably try to start with spreads. Although, you know me, I'm just going to throw in some directional trades in there as well. Okay, so options on E-mini micro futures launching today, pretty exciting. That's the first announcement. The second thing I wanted to cover really quick tonight is that this particular idea that I posted over to TradingView, which was basically our first extreme turn sell on a daily. For those who've been following along with the channel, or if you haven't, by the way, if you're not yet a subscriber to Futures on Fire, I'd love you to hit that like, subscribe, turn on the little bell notification so you're alerted to next time I broadcast, and also leave a comment if you'd like. I do answer all the various comments, and one question I get asked a lot is, what is this extreme turn? And it's what we call a hybrid indicator. So it's made up of ADX, RSI, and a little bit of ATR considerations. We hybrid it all together so you don't have to think about it, and we tell you when the conditions exist for this particular signal to exist. So as you can see from the COVID lows, this entire move here, we have just finally got our first extreme turn sell signal, and I chose to express that using a September 340, 332 bear put spread that I just paid $1.15 for. I only risk 50 to 60% of the premium paid, so basically I'm risking about 60 cents or so. In other words, if the market continues to move against me and I see this option trading for about 50 to 60 cents, I will cut it. I was wrong, we get out. Even if there's time left, doesn't matter. It's the easiest way for me to manage defined risk types of options trades. So I'm risking 60 cents to probably make 5, 6, 7, the total value of the spread is $8 minus $1.15, so you're looking at a little over $6.50 that could potentially be made if you got the full juice out of this thing. So hey, I like 10-to-1 risk rewards, and so do a lot of other people. There's been a nice amount of people that are liking this idea. If you wanted to go over to the continuous contract, here's the continuous contract, and there is an extreme turn sell there as well on the continuous contract. So this is a continuous contract of the S&P, and it's on the daily. So it's, again, the first time in a while that we've seen that set up there. So I just want to make you guys aware of that. And then speaking of the small exchange, they did launch another product kind of sneakily, and it actually has some decent volume. Now, it's nowhere close to the volume on the MNQ, and this would be a little bit more correlated, and it's supposed to be a competitive product to the MNQ, but I believe it's a fourth or a fifth of the size of the MNQ even. So in other words, the MNQ, or the Micro E-mini NASDAQ, is 1/10 the size of the full NASDAQ. And then this STIX, which is a small exchange product. Again, if you're not familiar with a small exchange at all, what you can do is pop over somewhere on the channel here. Again, another reason to hit the subscribe button and like, so you're notified of these. I did a whole series of videos on my experience with the small exchange. To net it all out, if you don't want to watch those, it's a competing product to the CME futures products, I'm very still feel that there's a potential for this particular alternative products, but the liquidity has been terrible. However, the liquidity in this STIX product, even though they just launched it, has been pretty decent. So something you might want to check out if you've moved away or haven't looked at the small exchange in a little while. I haven't been trading it, but I actually did trade a few STIX contracts last week. And as I said, I believe it's a fourth or a fifth the actual size of the MNQ. So it's even tinier than even the MNQ. Okay, so we got that going on. And what was I going to leave you with? I'm going to leave you with this, which is because of these E-mini micros launching tonight, I decided what I'm going to do is do another free week here through basically the holiday. If you want to join and take a look at Futures on Fire, which is our active daily trade room. And I'm actually going to open it up tonight, and then it'll be free and open for the entire week. So you can also check the link somewhere on this page on YouTube in the description, or if you're watching it on a different page that I might set up, you can just pop in your information there. There'll be no password required, but you do have to register through the registration form in order to give you access to the page where you actually log into. Okay, and if you happen to be on trial, paid trial, don't worry about it. I'll just extend your paid trial for the week, since this is like a freebie week. So the paid trials are only $10, so hopefully you don't get too concerned about that. All right, we'll leave it there for tonight. Again, options on micro E-mini futures, very exciting, MES and MNQ. Check the description or the link somewhere on this page to find out about how you can watch the replay of this webinar. It's going to give you all the information, much more than I can go into now. You are going to probably have to have some familiarity with options in order for the differences between general regular equity options and these options on micro futures or even options on futures, because there are going to be some differences and some stuff you're going to have to get used to, but it should be pretty simple. And again, given that they're 1/10 the size of these very expensive premiums that we're seeing in the regular options on futures markets, I'm pretty excited about seeing what happens. All right, talking fast, rambling as I often do. This is Rod with Traders Dev Group, Futures on Fire, reminding you to stay green, trade like you mean it. Check the descriptions or sign up somewhere on this page to join for the free week, and let's trade some options watch. I'm not telling you what to do. I will be trading some options on futures, and you can look over my shoulder if you'd like to. We'll see you at the next update video, or we'll see you on the trade room in just about an hour and a half. Thanks.